Hey friends, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about my summer homeschool plans for this year, for this summer, 2021 summer. Let's go. Hey, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a homeschool mom of 3. I've been homeschooling my kids since 2013 when my oldest was preschool, and I was super excited. Like, we started preschool when she was 2.5 and I just had to do school. But we've been doing homeschooling since then. I'm also a former English teacher, and I love to talk about Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool, biblically based curriculum, and affordable homeschooling. So if that's your jam, I would love for you to stick around and to consider subscribing. Today's video is a collaboration with my sweet friend Jamie at Simply Living It. If you have not heard of Jamie, which I would be very surprised, she is such a wonderful, sweet homeschool mama I've been getting to know here on YouTube. I've had the pleasure of getting to know her and working with her a bit in the last year, and she has been a huge encouragement to me, and I know to many of you as well. So if you have not heard of her, you need to go check her out. She's been sharing her homeschooling journey on YouTube as well, and it's been really neat to see her go from a Becca to what she's doing today, and it's really, really cool. And a huge thank you to Jamie for joining me on this video. So I can't wait to see your summer plans and to hear all that's going on and what you're excited for this year. Okay, so I've broken up what I'm going to be doing for the summer into 3 different groups, and I'm going to talk about our activities that I want to do that we can't do during any other time of the year, and then our morning time plans, and then my school plans, rough school plans. And in our family, I like to be year round because we can take breaks throughout the year as needed. This year, I wanted to do kind of mixed, because there's been times where we've taken a full summer break. There's been years for that. Like when we moved, I did not have the bandwidth, mental space, or anything to be able to continue to do school. So we took school off for that summer. I have also started school in about end of June, early July, and we take June off is generally what happens. This year, I'm gonna do a nice little mix of that. I wanna make sure we get a nice break, especially after these last several weeks. For some reason, I think me and my kids were all a little bit burnt out just in general, and I think we need a nice break to just play, enjoy the nice weather, maybe get caught up on a few house things like that. So these first several weeks of June, we are taking off completely. And part of me, the control freak in me, is like, no, what's gonna happen if we take it off? But I think it's gonna be okay. The other thing is, I do want to keep a nice routine throughout the summer, because if we go completely off, just take everything off and we go willy-nilly, I notice my kids really don't do well with that, especially since they're still younger and they thrive on routine. None of them are old enough to get a summer job or go to a lot of summer camps yet. So I think continuing mostly school or a nice routine, at least through the summer, does help us. That might change in the future when my kids are older, I'm not sure. But we're basically gonna do school and have our school routine in between all the fun plans we have for this summer. So I want it to be fun, but I still want there to be structure. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Clear as mud, right? Okay. Some of the fun activities we have are the library reading program. I love doing these programs. We've been doing them several years, but my kids have already got started. They got started yesterday on the library reading program, and they are just loving it. So it's fun because they get a little incentive to go with the books along with what they're reading. It helps them to read a little bit more than they might have, or read different books than they would normally choose for themselves. So I love our library reading program. Also, speaking of the library, our library has a ton of fun activities all throughout the summer. They have a karaoke night, guys. I might go do that. Might leave my family here. I'll go to karaoke night. But they have some fun activities, a small petting zoo, a magician, things like that. So probably throughout the summer, we'll try to join in on those activities. Swimming lessons is another big thing that we don't do throughout the year, but we have signed them up for 2 weeks of swimming lessons, and that's gonna start soon here. So I'm excited for that. So that'll be a good activity where they learn new skills, and it can give them the skills they need to be in the water. I have one child who's done a few years of swimming lessons, but my younger 2 haven't done a lot of lessons yet. So that's definitely gonna be really good for them. All right, so moving right along, I do want to keep doing morning time as often as I can throughout the summer. And that's always been my goal. There are times where we do just take a few weeks off, like right now, but having that anchor in the day to start our day really helps, I think, our family. And it really doesn't take that long, 30 minutes, maybe up to an hour. And I think it's a good time just start our day together and just to have that anchor, like I said. So I'll talk more about anchors in my routine in my next video if you want to subscribe so you don't miss that one. So for our morning time, we're going to keep doing our Bible memory challenge. I have a Hidden in My Heart memory challenge. If you want to join me with that, there's a memory verse weekly that we memorize all together as a family and with others who have joined the challenge. And with this, I give you some free copywork pages. Also, I provide a YouTube playlist with songs to go along with the verses that we're learning. So I would be happy for you to join us with that this summer if you haven't yet. So we're gonna keep memorizing scripture and keep that as part of our day. And then definitely read alouds. We're gonna be reading because we'll have plenty of time for that. I love reading outside on nice days. I love, taking them to maybe a park and reading outside, or even on a rainy day, doing lots of reading. So I'll share with the ones I wanna read in a little bit. That will definitely be a part of our morning time. Along with read alouds, I'm gonna be starting up the Beautiful Feet books, History of Science, curriculum unit, I guess. And technically it's a full year of science, but I'm gonna just work through this as we can fit it in. My goal would be once or twice a week to do this, and it gives us a book list, it's learning through literature, and then it gives a few experiments and activities to go along with what we read. And really, I'm probably not even going to do this in order. I would probably look at the choices that they have for books or for scientists and inventions and pick and choose, or even ask the kids which ones they want to do, and then we will dive deep into each of these scientific discoveries and the inventors that go along with it. So I'm really excited for this one. It came with, I've also got the History of Science timeline sheet here. So it comes with the timeline sheets that fold nicely that you can fit in a notebook, and then it has each of the inventors that you add to your timeline here. So that is definitely on my summer plans. My plan is to go, it's not really to finish a certain amount, it's just to get started, read a book or two throughout the week, and then see how far we get. And then I'll reevaluate it at the end of the summer and see if we will continue it or if we'll take a break, pick up our core curriculum, and then pick it up again later. So that's how I'm planning to do that. The other thing I want to continue is nature study. And I don't want this to be super formal this summer, but I do want to do, we love nature study, we love getting outside, and I've used lots of different resources throughout my time homeschooling, but the one I want to use for this summer is the 100 Ideas of Nature Study by Cindy West from Our Journey Westward. So I love this list. I'm just gonna look, just browse through it and see the different types of very simple, guys. I looked at this list. They're super simple nature activities you can do just with your time being outside. So along with our fun, reading activities, we plan to get outside a lot. We want to go to the beach. We want to go on bike rides and hikes and all those things, or even just play in the backyard. In those times when we do those walks or those hikes, we're gonna pull out Cindy's list and just pick one thing and do it. Going along with morning time, I was looking at a Gentle Feast morning time plans. I think these would be a great fit for the summer. So just like regular basic morning time plans, there's Bible and character reading, there's a hymn, there's a poem, a picture study, music appreciation, a just for fun activity, and then a picture book or a chapter book as suggested readings. So again, it looks very gentle and you don't have to do all of it, but I think it would be a great guideline to use throughout the summer. So I may not use it this summer because I already kind of have a gentle plan for our morning time, but if you're wanting to look for something and don't have a plan yet, then I definitely recommend to check that out. And I'll leave the link to that in the description below. So the next thing I do plan for the summer is I do want to continue math. I know that taking a full-on break is not super helpful for kids because then you have to pick up again and they forget a lot. So I know that. So yes, we're taking a full-on break right now with math, but I do plan to have my kids continue their math curriculum throughout the summer. My goal is about 3 times a week. We're not going to go heavy on it, but 2 to 3 times a week. Hopefully they can get a lesson in between, you know, all the other activities we're doing. Also, make sure we're continuing to do lots of math games. So we did play this morning. I played a clock time game with my kids, and that was something I had from Right Start. So I'm going to try to pull out those math games that we haven't played in a while and use that for some of our math time throughout the summer. And then we're going to take a break from our language arts curriculum. I think that's just going to be good for us, but we're not going to take a break from reading. So like I said earlier, the library reading challenge is definitely something we're going to be doing. To go along with that, I'm going to pick some read alouds. I want to do a read aloud that's just for fun. So I made a list here, and the things that I think that I can read. We may not get through all of these, but I just wanted to make a list that I thought looked like great reads to do during the summer. So the one I have been looking at is 5 Children and It by Edith, I believe. E. Nesbitt, yeah. So 5 Children and It, we haven't read that yet. I do want to look at that one. Amazon and Swallows. I did try reading that with my kids a few years ago and we didn't finish it, and I really think this might be a good year to read that. We did see the video on Prime. They have a video adaptation of it, which seemed pretty close to the book from what we did read, but we're gonna go ahead and read that one this summer. And then Pippi Longstocking. We started that in audiobook and didn't finish it, so I think we'll finish that and maybe pull it out for audiobook again. Also, I did want to make a book list for my 5th grader. I'm going to make sure she gets to choose her own too, but I have a few books that I would like for her to read this summer that I think she would enjoy and would be a good stretch to books she may not have picked herself. So one of them is Poppy and Ragweed, or Ragweed by Avi. And we read Poppy together when she was in 1st grade, and we both loved it. But I saw that there's a Ragweed book which goes along with the Poppy story by Avi, and then there's one that's both of them together. So we're gonna look those up, and I'm gonna have my daughter read that on her own. The Secret of Saturday Cove, and I can't remember who it's by, but I saw the description of that one and it looks like a great summer read. And last one is Because of Winn-Dixie, and we are big fans of, what's her name? I know she wrote Tale of Despereaux, and she wrote a bunch of other stuff we read. Ulysses, Flora and Ulysses, and hold on, the name is not coming to me yet. Kate DiCamillo, I remember now. Dang it, I thought I was gonna remember. Okay, but Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo. Normally I say it right, forgive me. We love her books, and I know there's a movie version of this too, and I think my daughter would love that. So I'm either gonna have her read it on her own, or I'll read it with my kids all together. We could make it a read aloud too, why not? Okay, so those are my actual plans. And while I think it's good to have plans, I really just wanna be flexible with this summer. Not so much flexible that I'm just like, oh, do whatever you want, but like, I really like having a direction where we're headed. I have the personality where I need that direction. I need those guidelines. Otherwise, we just fall off the trains and nothing happens, and it's not very pretty. So I'm giving myself these guidelines, but I do know that I have fallen off with putting relationship with my kids first before the checklist and the schoolwork. So I kind of want to flip that this summer. I think I need a good hard reset. And that's another reason why I'm taking off the first couple weeks of June for sure as well, is to kind of just get out of the mindset of doing the next thing and doing the checklist and getting all these things done, making sure the house is clean, making sure everybody takes a shower, like all those things that kind of clouded in my head. And my focus for this summer is relationship first, checklist second. So yes, the checklist is there. Yes, the books are there and all that, but I need a reset and make sure that I'm just focusing on being with my kids, getting to know them where they're at, because I know that I won't have this season back ever again. They're only gonna be 5.5, 8.5, and 10.5 this one summer. So I have one kid will have a birthday at the end of the summer, so that'll be fun. But I'm gonna try to push pause, slow down a little bit, and not force us to do a lot. Like, yes, like I said earlier, I have a plan, but I want relationship to come first. And I know, you know, a lot of homeschool moms would say that, and I'm trying to make sure I'm super genuine in this. And just to be honest, I feel a little bit sad and a little bit embarrassed to be admitting that to you, that I have fallen off that I've become a homeschool mom who's more focused on just getting the work done, and I'm not, loving, enjoying time with my kids. So I'm gonna do what it takes to spend some good quality time with my kids this year. We're gonna make a bucket list all together, and we're gonna write things down that we want to do. And again, not to just have a list, but to have activities to do that I know that they want to do, that it's not just mommy making plans, but it's the kids being involved in it as well, and they're filling their tanks and getting their tanks filled. So you guys can keep me accountable to that, please. Please, please, if you can help keep me accountable, check in with me here in the comments or on my Instagram page and let me know or ask me how that's going, because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need accountability. So speaking of accountability, I did create a summer bucket list sheet, a free printable for you. It includes the summer bucket list and a summer routines reset page that I will talk more about in my next video that you'll have to wait till Wednesday to see. But you can enter your email address in the link below and I will send that over to you for free. So yeah, my next video is gonna be my summer routines video, and if you're interested in that, make sure you pay attention to that coming out later. And don't forget, please go check out Jamie's summer plans video after this. I know I am excited to go see it, and I will definitely be encouraged. And she's got so much wisdom and so much encouragement, and I can't wait to hear from her. Thanks so much for being here. As always, go find his joy among the noise, and I will see you next time. Okay, that was a lot. And I wanted to say one more thing.